Hello everyone, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Previously, Catherine Hall told all. She explained how she hid the body, at first accidentally, and then purposefully to hopefully lure out and kill the true killer from 18 years ago. Now, her actions are inexcusable, but the fact remains that they actually have lured out what may be the real killer, because the person who sprung the trap was one Dane Gustavia, and now we're interrogating him, and in fact we got in a logic chess game with him, so let's continue where we left off, shall we? This could be the finale of Case 3. Who knows? Time will tell, though. God, Lord only knows I'm no stranger to just pressing on just a little bit further, and then whoops, I have a 2-hour-long video, so I try to avoid that. During the contest 18 years ago, Mr. Gustavia collaborated with Mr. Dover. I wonder, what made them decide to cooperate in the first place? That's what I need to draw out from him, but he's asleep again. Whoa! It seems he pretends to meditate when things aren't going his way. First, I'll ask about why he collaborated with Mr. Dover. The truth has been hidden for 18 years. That ends today. So when they're on the offensive and they're talking a lot, trying to talk over you, you just let them speak. But when they clam up and go silent, you need to press the attack. Why did you collaborate with Mr. Dover? Why did you decide to collaborate with Isaac Dover?
Sir Dover and I were already acquaintances, even before the contest began. Since he was interested in the contest, we simply decided to enter together.
Joining forces with a sculptor, you weren't confident in your own abilities.
You know nothing about me. We wanted to make great works together.
Wait and see. Sir Dover's son
and my own attended the same elementary school. We all got along well from the start.
Really? So were you going to share the title of world's greatest pastry chef together? Wake up. As expected, he pretends to meditate when things aren't going his way. Mr. Dover was a sculptor. I doubt he had any interest in the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. In that case, where did his true goal lie?
Indeed, my goal was the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. However, Sir Dover's goal was the grand prize, the angel's recipe.
I see. You cooperated because your interests were aligned. But there must have been a reason why your partnership soured.
Sir Prosecutor, I am the victim of a poisoning. If you're going to suspect me in this manner, perhaps I'd better return to the infirmary.
Oh, wait a moment.
In that case, you should end things soon. I am not a patient man.
It seems he's trying to leave. I can't let that happen. He's still hiding something. Next, I should ask him about his true goal. I need to keep the pressure on him while being cautious of the time. Did you have an... I think that's jumping the gun a little. I need the clue. Didn't you have another goal besides the title? The title alone doesn't seem to have much value.
How dare the likes of you insult the title of a confectionery artist? My only goal was the title itself. I had no interest in anything else. My dream was to become the world's greatest pastry chef.
Wait and see.
18 years ago, I was lacking in design sense. However, things are different now.
Oh, Are you saying you have improved at your craft?
Exactly, for I have trained at the Republic of Genfa.
How long? How long did you do that? Because if you are in Genfa for longer than 3 years, buddy, the statute of limitations was suspended during that time.
Yes, at the time I also studied Mr. Master's works. I would often watch his show with my son.
So you were studying Mr. Master's work to improve your own skills. If you had his recipes, perhaps it would have been easier for you to become the world's greatest.
Perhaps. To a pastry chef, Sir Master's recipes were worth their weight in gold.
You were interested in his recipes. If becoming the world's greatest pastry chef was your goal, you should have also been interested in the grand prize, the angel's recipe. Did I just snort? I guess that's what happens when you try to do the nasally voice I'm giving him and then inhale. Ow. That actually kind of hurt inside my nose. Ah.
The recipes of the world's greatest pastry chef. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't interested. However, I wouldn't think that simply being interested would be a problem.
I wonder about that. The angel's recipe's true nature was not for making desserts, but cures. And all of the contest participants should have been aware of that. Looks like I'm getting close. He isn't meditating anymore. Now to slowly but surely drive him into a corner. Heal me. Next I'll ask what he planned to use the recipe book for. Did you intend to make desserts with it? Yeah, we'll get him into a trap. We'll get him to admit some falsity. Did you intend to win the angel's recipe and use it to make desserts?
Of course. If I obtained the angel's recipe, I was going to use it in my training.
I hear the angel's recipe was worth a lot of money.
I don't know the exact details, but that recipe book was much too valuable to be sold.
You seem to know a lot about the book. You seem to know quite a lot about the angel's recipe.
It was explained to all the contest participants at the beginning of the contest.
In that case, you must know about the recipe book's true nature. That it was not a recipe book for desserts at all.
Impressive, Sir Prosecutor. So you know the true nature of the angel's recipe. The angel's recipe. Some have called it the ultimate recipe book. It contained formulas for new medicines that were not yet on the market.
He knew the recipes were actually formulas for new medicines. This could be a useful clue. The angel's recipe. Did you know its true value?
Silly question. It contains Sir Master's best dessert recipes.
Okay, maybe this poison gas messed with his brain.
Any pastry chef worth their salt would want it.
Looks like that clue will come in handy. You may have studied design in Genfa. However, your skills in lying could use more work. You just said earlier that the angel's recipe contained formulas for medicines. You weren't interested in desserts, you wanted the medicine formulas. Did you need a new medicine? Now, why would a pastry chef such as yourself be so interested in medicine? Perhaps what you were really after was the information about the new medicine.
I've underestimated you, Sir Prosecutor. Yes. My goal was more than just the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. At the time, my son was ill. I needed the recipe for the medicine.
Your son was ill? Tell me more about that.
To protect my son's honor, I can say no more.
Judging by the worried look on his face, I must have struck a nerve. Next, I need him to tell me more about his son's illness. Man, we're on a roll! I haven't gotten anything wrong! This is great! I think at long last, I'm like over halfway through the game, I'm finally understanding how this works. This is it. This will be my final move of the game. What was your son like? What kind of person was your son? Was? He's not dead, is he?
My boy, he loved the desserts I made.
See? Is he dead? Did you enter the contest solely for your son?
Sir Prosecutor, you can never understand the feelings of a father has for his son. I wanted nothing more than to cure my boy's illness. Until the semifinals, my son would always drop by the contest venue to play.
Is that so? Wouldn't he get in your way? I doubt you had time to care for your son while you were challenging Mr. Master.
That may be so, but I wanted to grant my son's wish. He said he always wanted to be the first to eat my desserts. My condition may be worsening. I should get back to the infirmary.
But wait, I was too passive there. Okay, I did tell he was kind of slowing down just a bit. Must read my opponent's reactions and emotions and strike with the right words. What was your son like? Wait and see. And we'll say he sounds healthy. About your son, if he was so sick, wouldn't it be difficult for him to come and play with you?
My son's illness, it wasn't life-threatening.
Ah. That might serve as a clue. Did the recipe book have... What was the name of the illness? What was the name of your son's illness?
Sir Prosecutor, how insensitive of you. My son was seriously ill. I will not be discussing this with the likes of you.
Looks like that clue will come in handy. But the illness wasn't life-threatening. You told me your son's illness was not life-threatening. Is there really a need to be so secretive about it?
It was enough to keep him from living a normal life.
That must have been difficult for your son.
I tried everything I could to cure his illness. It wasn't fair for the poor boy. He could never taste the desserts he loved so much.
I knew it. He has the hypojuicia as well. Oh my god. Was it a taste? Was he too fat? That's me. The angel's recipe contains a cure for a certain illness. A remedy that could also cure Mr. Master's taste disorder.
What? He had it too?
He had it too, I see. So your son suffers from a taste disorder.
I didn't think you'd figure it out so quickly.
In order to cure your son's taste disorder, you needed the recipe book. Wasn't that your true goal?
It is as you say.
Based on how he's acted up until now, it appears he is still hiding something. Seems I don't have enough clues to proceed with this line of questioning. Okay. Maybe I should try another line of attack. Did the angel's recipe have the only cure?
Yes, though the medicine is being sold everywhere now. At the time, the recipe book was my one and only option. That's why I continued making my desserts without joining the others for tea time.
So you weren't interested in what Mr. Master was making. You sure seemed confident in your chances of winning.
I couldn't be bothered to pay attention to the other contestants' desserts.
You had interest. You just said earlier that you studied Mr. Master's works. In addition, if your goal was to win the contest in order to get the medicine formula, you must have been curious about the other contestants' entries as well.
There was time to sample the other desserts during the contest, but none of their entries had any flavor. So I didn't want to eat any of it. I suspect I may have been a bit nervous as well.
So everything he ate tasted flavorless. This could be a useful clue. Well, it sounds like he just admitted he has the condition himself. Okay. The illness wasn't life-threatening. And then... this time we have all the ammunition we need. Was it a taste disorder? The angel's recipe contains a cure for a certain illness. A remedy that could also cure Mr. Master's taste disorder.
What? He had it too?
He had it too, I see. So your son suffers from a taste disorder.
Didn't think you'd figure it out so quickly.
In order to cure your son's taste disorder, you needed the recipe book. Wasn't that your true goal?
Is as you say.
Based on how he's acted up until now, it appears he is still hiding something. Looks like that clue will come in handy. Being unable to taste anything, regardless of what you eat. Such a bitter illness. I mean, no, it would not be bitter. At all. That reminds me, didn't you say something similar earlier? None of their entries had any flavor, so I didn't feel like eating any of it, wasn't it? Perhaps your son wasn't the only one who suffered from a taste disorder. It's hard to imagine being a successful pastry chef without a sense of taste. Perhaps what you really wanted was to cure yourself.
That's completely ludicrous. 18 years ago, I made those desserts all by myself.
Didn't you collaborate? It seems you've caught yourself in a contradiction. Didn't you cooperate with Isaac Dover in the contest? You can hardly say you made the desserts all by yourself. You must take great pride in your abilities as a pastry chef, but to betray your pride and cooperate with another contestant, you did it all to cure your own disease.
Well done, Sir Prosecutor. It's as you say, the one with the taste disorder is not my son. It is I. No one knew. I've kept it a secret for 18 years.
It doesn't matter how long a secret is kept. If you lie before me, I will expose it. Dame Gustavia and Isaac Dover were both trying to obtain the recipes for the new medicines. Gustavia to cure his condition, and Dover most likely to sell the recipe book for money. For this reason, they entered the contest as a collaborative effort. And with that, checkmate. Oh yeah, I was injured, wasn't I? Neat. Logic chess complete. Oh yeah.
I have never told this to anyone. Well done. As you say, I developed a taste disorder 18 years ago.
Taste disorder?
It was a severe disorder. I was unable to discern any flavor at all. It's the one illness a pastry chef dreads above all.
Those symptoms sound a bit different from Mr. Master's taste disorder.
Mr. Master's condition is known as hypojusia. It simply causes a decreased sensitivity to certain specific flavors.
I'm sure it has caused Sir Master much pain too. After all, no medication was available to cure it 18 years ago.
Yes. Yes, there was. It was in the book. In order to cure your taste disorder, you would need Mr. Master's Angel's recipe. And that's why you entered the contest, am I correct?
That was one of my goals, but I still had my sights set on the title of World's Greatest. When it comes to making desserts, I won't lose to anyone. Even without the ability to taste, I still have the utmost confidence in my flavors.
Oh, so I presume you also prepared your desserts in the finals with the intent to win.
That goes without saying.
According to what Mr. Shields told us earlier, the evaluation of Mr. Gustavia's entry was... Up until the semifinals, Mr. Gustavia's flavors and design were to my liking. Unfortunately, both the taste and appearance of his finals entry left much to be desired. It seems the dessert you made for the finals was not rated highly in regards to flavor. Mr. Gustavia, you will tell us about how you made your dessert during the finals.
Very well. It seems I must teach you upstarts a lesson. Oh, my throat.
Oh, okay.
Sir Dover and I cooperated until the finals. I handled the flavor. He was in charge of the design. However, for the finals, I wanted to challenge Sir Master with my own skills. I helped Sir Dover make his entry, but I made mine completely on my own.
We know that's fake. Wait. No, that's true. Yeah, Sir Dover's tasted sweet. That's right, but wait. No, that can't be right. If Dame Gustavia can't taste anything, how could he possibly make Dover's sorbet sculptures taste sweet? They do taste sweet. Huh.
If the flavor of my entry wasn't good enough, my own lack of training was to blame. How about that, Sir Prosecutor? This is the truth of 18 years ago.
I can't find any contradictions in his testimony.
Well, of course he isn't gonna fess up that easily. This guy's been on the run for 18 years after all. Guess we'll just have to keep on pressing him until he breaks, eh?
Yes. Oh, thanks for telling me. Guess I'll do just that.
Sir Dover and I cooperated until the finals. I handled the flavor. He was in charge of the design.
So Mr. Dover took care of the design, while you handled the flavor.
Sir Dover was a sculptor by trade. His sense of design was splendid. But he was just an amateur chef. We combined our strength by working together.
You never did have much design sense, did you, Mr. Gustavia?
What do you think of this?
Oh, yeah, that's a phoenix. That's the symbol of Zhen Fa. Wow, a phoenix! That is really good.
Wow, you really have improved these past 18 years.
Behold the fruits of my 18 years of training. I've put my life and limb on the line for my dessert skills. It's true that I cooperated with Sir Dover 18 years ago, up until the finals. However, for the finals, I wanted to challenge Sir Master with my own skills.
So you were really serious about the title of World's Greatest Pastry Chef?
Yes, confectionery is my life. Naturally, I wanted to be the world's greatest. But back then, I was still inexperienced, and I was no match for the better chef.
But your goal was also to obtain the angel's recipe, right? Wouldn't the recipe book be worth more to you than the title? Oh yeah, Courtney's here. I will not stand by and watch you badger a convalescent man like this. My gavel shall protect you, Mr. Gustavia. I realize he's still recuperating, but... Mr. Gustavia, do not yield to this devilish prosecutor. Now then, please continue with your testimony.
I helped Sir Dover make his entry, but I made mine completely on my own.
So you helped Mr. Dover with his dessert, but made yours all by yourself. No matter how you look at it, that seems odd. Why didn't Mr. Dover assist you?
It matters not how it seems, it's the truth. I do not know what Sir Dover was thinking.
It's hard to prove if someone is lying about something that happened 18 years ago. Hey, Kay, does your secret weapon also work as a lie detector?
If it did, I'd have already stolen Mr. Edgeworth's spotlight. There's no need for that. I will expose this man's lies myself. Dame Gustavia, please continue with your testimony.
If the flavor of my entry wasn't good enough, my own lack of training was to blame.
Up until the finals, I heard that you received high praise for the flavor of your desserts. Was there some sort of accident during the finals?
Nothing of the sort. I simply was unable to taste my work due to my taste disorder. My intuition must have been off, that's all.
Then, was your intuition fine while making Mr. Dover's entry? How could there be such a huge difference between the finals and the previous day? We're not getting anywhere at this rate. Should I change the topic? Yeah, ask about the semifinals. So, you're sure there wasn't anything different between the semifinals and the finals?
Yes, that's right. Aside from not cooperating with Sir Dover, the finals weren't much different from the semifinals.
Well, I mean, that's not true. We don't have the photograph of the two cakes. Okay, I think I made a mistake. I think I went down the wrong avenue. Let's press this, though. Oh, no, never mind. All those unanswered questions 18 years ago. I should already have the keys I need to unravel them. I must recall all the information that Mr. Shields and my father gathered. Yeah, hold on. I need to press that last thing just to make sure. So you were still able to make your desserts without Mr. Dover's assistance? I may have lacked design sense, but I was confident in the flavor. Apart from the design, there were no major differences between my finals and semifinals entries.
Huh? That sure is strange. That's not how Uncle Ray remembers it. I'm pretty sure both the look and taste of your finals desserts scored poorly.
Then there's no way he would have won the contest. Even the flavor, which he was so confident about, failed to materialize during the finals. Something must have changed besides Mr. Dover's cooperation. But what? All those unanswered questions 18 years ago. I should already have the... yeah. Okay, so that's 3 characters saying this line is suspect. I must have something. This says how the statue from 18 years ago is identical to what appeared today, but... The pamphlet, maybe? Yeah, no. You know, I just don't think I have anything for this. I'm gonna go back and try the other avenue. Gonna do that. Ask about Dover. You knew Mr. Dover before you entered the contest, right? Yes, I knew him well. Sir Dover's son and my own attended the same elementary school. Then it wasn't a coincidence that you both participated in the contest. I heard about the contest, so I made the suggestion to Sir Dover. He always wanted money for his sculpting business. Oh yeah, he does charge an exorbitant fee, doesn't he? If I recall, Mr. Dover was a greedy man who was always after more money. Oh, so the angel's recipe is really worth that much?
Okay, the recipe book was certainly valuable 18 years ago, but nowadays most of the medicines it contains are available commercially.
Oh, that's a shame. In the end, it seems that each of the contestants had the angel's recipe as their goal. All those unanswered... okay. There's no contradiction here. This is true. There's like a photo evidence. I definitely barked up the wrong tree here. I guess I'll try the fountain. The fountain info. The finals. The finals. Yeah, liquid analysis results. Here we go. Hoping a prayer. Yeah, no. Your testimony is faulty. Take a look at this. Why are you meditating? Take a look at this piece of evidence. I do not need to see it to understand. Your training is insufficient, Sir Prosecutor. should remember the lessons from your training. Oh. The finals weren't much different. The finals weren't much different. Okay. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. 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 Mm-hmm. No. 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 Okay, what the hell happens if we do not change the subject? Maybe something new gets added, actually. Okay, don't change. I don't think there's any reason to change the topic. Aside from not cooperating with Sir Dover, the finals weren't meant... Oh, okay. I am well and truly baffled. I just looked through all the evidence and I can't find any connections. So, to the FAQ, I guess. Huh? Okay, on this line, aside from not cooperating with Sir Dover, the finals weren't much different from the semi-finals. On this, I present the family photo? Huh? Also, wow, I just realized that Dover's son has a flower in his shirt pocket that is identical to the ones on the cakes he would make. Oh, that's a neat detail. Why? What is going on here? What? There was another difference between the semifinals and finals. This photo depicts your son. We know he came to visit you up until the... Oh, you have to be kidding me. Really? Okay, this feels like bullshit. You present the family photo that shows the son to say, but your son didn't come this time? So, hey, I just realized he has a tattoo of the seahorse on the back of his hand. Or maybe that's a burn. That is correct. What does that have to do with anything? Your son, who always came to see you through the semifinals, was not present for the finals. Okay, this is such a stretch. What the hell? And then it was only in the finals that your flavor judged poorly. Oh, I get it. I don't believe this to be a mere coincidence. Your son's visits must have been very important to you, were they not? A father can work miracles when his son is watching. With my son cheering me on, I was able to make the most delicious desserts. Mr. Gustavia sure sounds like a good father, doesn't he? If what he's saying is the whole truth, one could say so. But just hearing his son's cheers wouldn't be enough to change the taste of his desserts. A confectioner, confident in his sense of taste, develops a taste disorder. It would have been difficult for him to maintain the taste of his desserts. Your son came to cheer you on. Was that really all he did? You seem very doubtful, Sir Prosecutor.
In that case, I'll turn this around and ask you. What else could my elementary school son have done besides cheer me on?
He tasted your desserts. I'm sure your elementary school son would have remembered the taste of your desserts.
Of course, my son always loved my desserts.
In that case, he would have been able to taste test your desserts in your place.
What did you say?
Earlier, you told us that you have a taste disorder.
I've never told this to anyone. Well done. As you say, I developed a taste disorder 18 years ago.
No one else knew about your taste disorder. If Mr. Dover had found out, he would have ended your partnership. After all, you were in charge of the flavor. Your son didn't just cheer you on. He also helped you determine if your desserts tasted correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Mr. Dover's dessert was made the day before, so it still tasted good.
What you are saying is quite amusing, Sir Prosecutor. You say that my elementary school son assisted me as a taste tester. You are insulting my pride.
Your pride?
It's true, I had no sense of design 18 years ago. However, I won't lose to anyone when it comes to flavor. You claim I would cast aside my pride and rely on my son. Don't get carried away with your foolish conjecture. You upstart.
In that case, I'm sure your son can confirm if my theory is mere conjecture.
Unfortunately for you, I no longer have a son.
What?
After my taste disorder was cured, I went to train in Genfa immediately. During that time, I severed all ties with my son.
What? Don't tell me. You would even abandon your own son? Okay, look, I know it's a long shot, but while I was looking at this photo, I thought a thought that was so stupid. I was like, hey, you know what? That kid... Wait. Oh, no, I was thinking of the kid on the left. Yeah, I was thinking that kid looks like a Jan J. Elbert, but that's ridiculous. No, that... The person on the right could be anyone then. I mean, it's a very plain design, but... You would even abandon your own son?
That's not all. Even today, the whereabouts of his son are still unknown. The police have been searching, but they haven't been able to find any traces of him.
You wish to confirm your theory, I welcome you to try. Desserts are the only things that are important to me. After regaining my sense of taste, my son no longer mattered.
Order in the court. Mr. Gustavia's actions are certainly inhumane. However, we are not here to judge whether or not he is a good father. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I believe this is your loss.
After all, there is no evidence left from 18 years ago that could prove your theories.
Ugh. Mr. Edgeworth, is there nothing we can do? At this rate, we'll never find out the truth. Detective Gumshoe, where are those results?
I wonder whose blood it could have been. I've asked forensics to look into it, sir.
Alright, I leave it to you, Detective. I entrusted Detective Gumshoe with the last piece of evidence. If only I knew who that blood belonged to.
Miles, there's still one thing that's bothering Uncle Ray. Was Mr. Gustavia's only reason for coming to the art gallery to check on the body?
If he only wanted to confirm the body's presence, he wouldn't have needed to open the case.
That's right. Is there a way we can prove this?
There is one way. We just need that evidence from Detective Gumshoe. Prosecutor Edgeworth, what are you talking about?
Mr. Edgeworth, sorry to keep you waiting, sir.
Just the person I was talking about. Gumshoe with the last-minute save once again. Detective Gumshoe, I trust you have the test results.
Of course, sir. I just got the report back from the lab.
Detective, please be silent. So, this is the evidence that Prosecutor Edgeworth was talking about. Huh? Hey, what's this? This is the first I've heard of it. This was a request from me. I asked him to investigate a certain piece of evidence. Why is everyone always helping you out? I'm the one in charge of the crime scene. Mr. DeBest, I apologize for taking matters into my own hands, but how about we hear his report first? Sure. Detective Gumshoe, what were the results?
Here's the report, sir. The traces of blood found in the Gemini sculpture belong to the victim of the poison gas, Dane Gustavia.
What are you saying? Good work, Detective Gumshoe. As I thought, my theory was correct. Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean? We too would like an explanation. What on earth does this blood prove? This blood is something the culprit of the IS-7 incident tried to conceal. It can't be, This blood was found inside the glass case of the Gemini sculpture. In other words, your blood was found alongside Mr. Dover's body. But why would Mr. Gustavia's blood be in a place like that? If you intend to remain silent, then I'll reveal the truth myself. In the Gemini case, aside from the blood, we also found traces of salt and sugar. Salt and blood? And only one of Mr. Dover's sorbet desserts tasted salty.
Come to think of it, I remember Miss Delicious saying the same thing 18 years ago.
Oh, yesy, his sorbet was most delicious.
Really? Wish I could have eaten some too.
There was one piece that was so salty I couldn't eat it.
Salty?
It's right here in this photo. It was a part of that lyre. That's the lyre from the Gemini constellation. Exactly. For some reason, salt had been mixed into the lyre. No other traces of salt were found in Dover's room. In that case, please explain. Where did the salt detected in the lyre come from? Oh, yeah! The rock salt lamp. Take that! This is the rock salt lamp used as the murder weapon in the IS-7 incident. I believe part of this rock salt lamp was mixed in with the sorbet from the lyre. At the time of the murder, there were 2 rock salt lamps in Mr. Masters' room. One of those lamps took Mr. Dover's life. We know that Mr. Dover's blood was left behind on the murderous lamp. However, there were no traces of anyone's blood found at the crime scene in Mr. Masters' room.
Because the killer disposed all of the desserts with traces of blood into the streams of water, right?
No other traces of salt were found in Mr. Dover's room.
Speaking of which, weren't the 2 rock salt lamps found in Miss Delicious's room also broken?
It looks like both the lamps and the pillars are broken.
Both of their light bulbs are broken.
Maybe they were dropped on the floor. We never did figure out why the other rock salt lamp was broken. Maybe Mr. Gustavia's blood was on the other lamp.
If your blood was found on the lamps at the crime scene, you would have been suspected. As the culprit, you would have needed to conceal all traces of your blood from the police. Don't tell me he concealed it in the sorbet liar. Exactly. The rock salt lamp and his blood were mixed into the sorbet liar and hidden inside the glass case. Unlike the fountain's water, the sorbet desserts would not be analyzed right away. Perhaps he had planned to dispose of the sorbet when the opportunity presented itself. Then, the reason Mr. Gustavia came to this gallery. 18 years ago, the body and the evidence pointing to the killer were both stolen. Even the killer could not have anticipated that. There was no way of knowing when the body and the evidence would be discovered.
So he planned to destroy the evidence before the Zodiac Art Gallery's grand opening.
Dane Gustavia, isn't it about time you confessed? You are the true culprit of the IS-7 incident. Monsieur Gustavia, you're the reason Monsieur Master is... Mwahaha. Ooh. Something tells me he has one last trick up his sleeve.
Mr. Gustavia.
Could it be? After all this time, my crime is finally brought to light. The prosecutors and defense attorneys 18 years ago never even came close. Bravo, bravo, well done, Sir Prosecutor.
So you admit that you killed Mr. Dover? Oh, I know what he's doing. The statute of limitations. Now we need to prove that no, he was in Gen Fa all this time.
It is true, I killed Isaac Dover. But he had only himself to blame.
What do you mean?
Dover and I worked together in order to win the contest. No matter who won, we agreed that we'd share the Angel's recipe. But on the day of the finals, he stabbed me in the back. Sir Dover, this isn't what we agreed to.
I'm sorry, Gustavia. The deal is off.
What? But I made your desserts for you. I am the reason you got this far.
And what of it? Can you prove that you assisted me in any way?
Dover, you were planning to betray me all along. Because of Dover's treachery, I was forced to make my finals entry on my own. It's just as Sir Prosecutor said, my son assisted me every day until the finals.
What about your pride as a confectionery artist?
A proud chef loses the ability to taste his own creations. That's a feeling an upstart like you would never understand. Mastering the art of dessert making is my reason for being. It is my one and only pride.
Committing murder for the sake of pride. That's another feeling I will never understand. To say nothing of abandoning your own son. Such a thought disgusts me.
Before you judge me, first understand what happened 18 years ago. On the day of the finals, my son never came to assist me. Thinking back on it now, I suppose Dover had a hand in that as well.
Huh? What exactly happened to your son?
I do not know, but it no longer matters. Ever since that day, my son meant nothing to me. From what I hear, he's still missing.
That's awful. Giving up on him like that? Without your son, you had no chance of winning, correct?
Yes, and since I was guaranteed to lose, I needed a failsafe. During the afternoon tea time, I made my way to Sir Master's room. I just needed to take a photo of the cure to my taste disorder. It would have all worked out. If only Dover hadn't interfered.
Ah, Gustavia. Trying to steal a picture of my prize, are you? That hardly seems sporting.
You!
Cure for taste disorders? Oh, you have a taste disorder, don't you? Oh, this is rich, a pastry chef who can't taste.
Dover, you! Gah! Puny worm, you are in no position to oppose me. Why, you... When I attempted to hit Dover, he struck me and sent me flying. I crashed into one of the rock salt lamps, and that was when my blood stained on it.
So Mr. Dover wasn't the first one to be injured.
To conceal my blood, I shaved away part of the rock salt lamp and mixed it into the sorbet. After that, it became a part of the liar's sculpture.
So, that's how you tried to erase your traces from the crime scene.
Dover tried to blackmail me by using his knowledge of my taste disorder. If I didn't want it to become public, I was to pay him a large sum.
So, that's the reason why you killed Isaac Dover.
Exactly. What reason do I have to let those who obstruct me live? He was the one who drew first blood. I simply gave him his just desserts.
So that was his motive.
I carried the rock salt lamp that bore my blood into Dover's room. Then I came up with a hiding place where it would not be easily found.
I get it. That room contained plenty of tools for sculpting sorbet.
Your deduction is spot on, Sir Attorney. It was the ideal place to shave away the rock salt. I then proceeded to coat the surface of the sorbet layer with vast amounts of the salty mixture.
But why? Why did you try to pin the crime on Monsieur Master?
You are wrong to blame me for that, Lady Catherine. If not for your unnecessary meddling, Sir Master would never have been a suspect. Why do you think I hid the murder weapon and fluorescent cloth in Lady Delicia's room?
There's only one reason why you'd place a murder weapon in someone else's room. I knew it. Something that's been in my head the entire time. When Gregory and young Raymond first arrived on the scene, Dame Gustavia spoke to them early on, and he said, "Do not trust that Delicia lady. She is a woman who will do anything." Already he was trying to shift the blame onto her. That's why he would say such things. Ingenious. There is only one reason why you'd place a murder weapon in someone else's room. You wanted to pin the crime on Delicia.
Me?
Yes.
Yes, that is correct.
Gusty, why me?
As one who sought to be the world's best confectioner, I greatly respected Sir Master. It was never my intention to cast suspicion on him, but an insolent woman who dared to sully the contest with fake desserts, I had no problem letting someone like you take the blame for the crime.
That makes me sad.
If you hadn't snacked on other people's desserts, the body would never have been found. It was when the Sir Master would be judging Lady Delicia's room. That's when I finally saw an opportunity to freeze the body, but before I could move the body, Lady Catherine had already discovered it.
Why? Did you need to freeze Monsieur Dover's body?
Why, indeed.
Monsieur Edgeworth, please tell us. Why would Monsieur Gustavia have needed to freeze the body?
To create a fake crime scene. I think.
The reason Mr. Gustavia froze the body, it was probably to create a fake crime scene. Fake crime scene?
I got that wrong, didn't I?
Judge Courtney's icy glare is so cold I feel like I'm about to freeze.
It seems I was mistaken. I mean, I guess to disguise it as an ice sculpture, that is what happened. Mr. Gustavia froze the body in order to disguise it as an ice sculpture.
Huh? Really?
Okay. Boy, I'm bad at this. Thank God there's no damage to be taken.
Mr. Gustavia intended to freeze the body in order to throw off the time of death. If the time of death had coincided with a tea party, Mr. Gustavia would have been suspected.
That is correct. Preparations were necessary to freeze the body while I was preparing in Dover's room. I placed the body in the treasure chest in Sir Master's room. I could think of no better hiding place at the time. But thanks to that gluttonous pharmacist, the lid of the chest broke.
But why did you disguise him as an ice sculpture? Once the body was discovered, there would be no time to throw off the time of death. To buy time, you needed to hide it someplace else. How horrid. How could you hide Monsieur Dover's body within one of his own works?
It all would have worked out if the body hadn't been discovered while it was in Sir Master's room. If everything had gone according to plan, Sir Master would never have been arrested.
So, because I discovered the body, it's my fault Monsieur Master was...
Kate, don't take his words to heart. Even if suspicion hadn't fallen on Mr. Master, Miss Delicious would have taken the fall. No matter who he targeted, the one at fault here is Mr. Gustavia himself.
The detective in charge of the initial investigation was also a dunce. To think that he never reported the missing body to the prosecutor.
Prosecutor von Karma indicted Mr. Master without knowing the body was vanished.
I see. That would explain why he looked so flustered at the crime scene. Although it's something that would stand out if you read the official documents.
Could someone have intentionally distorted the information? Yeah, that Rip Placer guy, or Rip Placer, is suspicious. At any rate, Von Karma found out about the missing body after he had made his indictment. And if he had let one person be acquitted, he'd have a stain on his much-prided perfect record. That's why he concealed the fact that the body was hidden and had Mr. Master declared guilty. What are you saying? For 18 years, that man has taken the blame for your crimes. Don't you feel anything at all?
I don't care what you say. What a monster! I'm arresting him right here, right now, sir.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that will be impossible.
So you figured it out. That's correct. You have no right to sentence me.
What? But the culprit is standing right in front of us.
Allow me to tell you the reason why you can't arrest me.
Here we go. I already solved this one.
It has been 18 years since I murdered Dover. The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years, is it not? In other words, it's impossible for you to arrest me. I only confessed my crime because the statute of limitations had expired.
The statute of limitations for murder is 15 years. Mr. Edgeworth, is there nothing we can do? As long as the statute of limitations remains, arresting him is impossible. No way. My sincerest apologies, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Neither Mr. Gustavia's testimony for your logic can be taken as official legal proof. The verdict of the trial 18 years ago cannot be overturned. What? What about the fact that Mr. Dover's body was hidden? Even if we can't arrest Mr. Gustavia, this should at least earn Mr. Master a retrial. Really? I wonder about that. Overturning a verdict of the Goddess of Law is much harder than you think. Is the PIC trying to justify the verdict from 18 years ago?
How unfortunate, Sir Prosecutor.
Is there nothing I can do? Is there no way to continue pursuing Mr. Gustavia? I think we need to coax out a bit more direct statement.
It has been 18 years since I murdered Dover.
No matter how many years have passed, your sin will never fade.
Sir Prosecutor, I'm sure you must have realized by now. There's no way you can arrest me.
Arresting you would be a piece of cake for someone like Mr. Edgeworth. Isn't that right, sir? I don't think it will be that simple.
It's impossible for you to arrest me. The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years, is it not?
It's possible that some of your actions 18 years ago were not affected by the statute.
It's been so long, I've got nothing left to hide. Ask me anything you'd like.
Very well. Could you explain to me what you did during these past 18 years?
Certainly. After the contest, the medicine from the recipe book allowed me to fully cure my taste disorder. I then immediately headed to Genfa to train my design skills.
So he wasn't seen ever since that case because he was in a foreign country.
Indeed, and I'm certain that I went abroad to train. About 1 year after that case, right before Sir Master's final trial began. And thanks to my training, I am now a confectioner unparalleled in both taste and design.
A wolf! It's like Shilon Ling. You should not be proud of a position earned through the sacrifices of others.
You can't bake a cake without breaking a few eggs. Sacrifices were necessary for my goal.
That's horrible.
Say what you will. The fact still remains that you cannot arrest me.
I have to get more information out of Mr. Gustavia. Was there anything of note in his recent testimony? Yeah, his training in Genfa. Could you please add the details about your training in Genfa to your testimony?
Certainly. Afterwards, I trained in Genfa to become the world's best confectioner.
Oh, the hubris. He's so sure of himself. He thinks he's invincible. He thinks he's already won. Oh, this is gonna be satisfying.
Objection!
One of the conditions regarding the statute of limitations for murder is as follows. If the suspect flees to a foreign country, the time limit is on hold until the suspect returns. So the statute of limitations was suspended while you were overseas. That's right! The statute of limitations stopped while you were training in Genfa. Indeed, it is possible that the statute of limitations has not expired yet. Mr. Gustavia, please tell us how long you stayed in Genfa.
It would be exactly 3 years.
Hey, what's 18 minus 3? It's 15.
3 years. Wait, let's calmly think this over. The case occurred 18 years ago. The statute of limitations is 15 years, and he was away for 3.
15 plus 3 is exactly 18 years, I'm sure of it. Mr. Edgeworth, we did it! The statute of limitations hasn't expired yet.
Exactly 18 years, you say? How amusing.
So he realized. Why are you laughing? The statute of limitations still applies.
Okay, it's frustrating, but the case occurred in December. It's April now, which means, strictly speaking, the case occurred 18 years and 4 months ago. His stay abroad wasn't quite enough. We were just a few months short.
Doesn't the statute of limitations begin when the case is closed and judgment is passed? Master was only sentenced a full year after. There should be a 6-month gap leeway, right? Not enough. That's...
Like I said, it's impossible for you to arrest me.
He must have known all about this when he confessed to his crime. Prosecutor Edgeworth, it really is a shame. If it was just 1 year earlier, the statute of limitations would not have run out. Those who undermine the Goddess of Law's verdict must bear the burden for their crimes. It seems you were simply incapable. This lady is just an unbelievable asshole. I think I just genuinely hate her. My God. Yeah. This can't be the end. So, Monsieur Gustavia really is beyond the law's reach.
Kate, what are you thinking?
Objection.
If you're thinking of taking matters into your own hands, I implore you to reconsider. There still might be a way to bring this man to justice.
What?
Miles, remember the facts of the case 18 years ago. Just as you were mistaken earlier, it seems Mr. Gustavia has also overlooked one key detail.
Overlooked?
He wasn't present during Mr. Master's final trial, so he doesn't know the outcome of the trial. There may yet be a way for you to arrest him. Miles, look over that book on the statute of limitations again.
Will do. If possible, accomplices are on trial. The countdown is stopped. And in the case file, Master was tried and convicted as an accomplice to the murder. Well, there you go.
17 years ago, Master was falsely declared guilty for a serious crime. Thanks to that verdict, we aren't out of ammunition just yet.
Mr. Shields, you don't mean...
Those who undermine the Goddess of Law's verdict must bear the burden of their crimes. I am Mr. Master's attorney. I can't use his suffering as a weapon in good conscience. For that reason, I leave the rest up to you.
The trial my father and Von Karma battled over. Can I use that to arrest Mr. Gustavia? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? My father and Von Karma, their paths diverged. One revealed the truth, the other concealed it. The path that I choose is the one that reveals the truth. I see no further reason to prolong this trial. I hereby find Dame Gustavia not guilty. Overruled. Gustavia will stand in court for his crimes. Do you mean to say you have found a way to arrest Mr. Gustavia? Exactly. I'll show Judge Courtney the evidence that will shatter the statute of limitations.
Take that!
The IS-7 case file. What page are you referring to? Is it case summary? Hold on. Yes, suspect data. The suspect data page. At the trial, Jeffrey Master was found guilty of being an accomplice to murder. And it took 1 year to arrive at this verdict. Right, that is indeed true. This book lists conditions in which the statute of limitations can be put on hold. The first, as I have said earlier, is if the suspect flees to a foreign country. But there's one more. If possible accomplices are on trial, the countdown is stopped until the verdict is reached.
What are you saying? Sir Master was found to be an accomplice?
That's right. Mr. Master was sentenced after you had left for your trip to Genfa. And he was found guilty not of being the culprit, but of being an accomplice. But it seems you didn't know that.
That's absurd. Sir Master never committed any crime to begin with. You should certainly know this.
Of course we do. That is why we are going to free him. To that end, we will shatter the one remaining obstacle in our way. The statute of limitations. You fled to Genfa for 3 years, and Jeffrey Master was being tried as an accomplice for 1 year. Put it all together, we see that the total time limit for this case is 19 years. In other words, the statute of limitations is not over for you yet. The Goddess of Law is unerring in her judgments. However, it seems that the prosecutor at the time was not. I cannot believe it, but it seems like the case will have to be reopened.
This is absurd. You cannot arrest me.
For the last 18 years, an innocent man has suffered greatly in your stead. Mr. Gustavia, it's now time for you to atone for your crimes.
I had finally earned my place as the greatest confectioner in the world. To achieve that goal, I cast everything aside, even my own son.
What a shame. You can't run from your crimes any longer. Damn. That is some intense skill. Wow.
Dame Gustavia has been taken into custody, sir.
Yeah. So you're up next, right? Yes, I understand.
Kate.
Everyone, I am truly sorry for all the trouble I've caused.
Like, I have no sympathy for her. Take her away. Put her in prison. Throw the book at her.
And thank you very much for catching Monsieur Gustavia.
What you did cannot be overlooked, even if the crimes you committed were in response to a past injustice. As a prosecutor, I am terribly sorry for what happened.
No, I'm only getting what I deserve, since I was the cause of all this.
Kate, will you have me as your attorney? I'm not quite the same useless kid I was 18 years ago. I won't let them find you guilty.
Aw. Oh, Monsieur Shields, yes, thank you so much.
Sorry to interrupt, but it's time to go.
Yes, all right.
I wonder if they actually did hug. I think that's what was implied. Judge Courtney. Okay. Justine Courtney. This is a moment where you're like, okay, I've been harsh on you, Miles, but you proved me wrong time and time again in the prison and in this art museum. And like, okay, I was too harsh on you. I should give you more leeway. I'm sorry for being so critical. I should trust in you. You really are good at your job. That's what she should say. I can't help but feel that you've been dishonest with me.
Dishonest? Whatever do you mean?
You said that the verdict could not be overturned, but that was not the case. A reinvestigation and retrial were obviously required as soon as the missing body was found.
I have no need to answer you.
It seems she doesn't intend to ever give me an answer.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, the PIC has you in its sights. They will receive a report on everything you did here today, and you will most likely be required to appear before them. Now then, I shall take my leave. Hold on, Mr. Edgeworth. Hold on. Mr. Edgeworth caught the real bad guy. Didn't he do his job as a prosecutor?
No matter how things turn out, I will never regret what I did here today.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Hey, Prosecutor Edgeworth. What is it? Why are you always sticking your nose into cases that you're not even involved with? My duty is to reveal the truth. Not only as a prosecutor, it's just who I am. I don't get it. As long as you continue to think that being the best is all that matters, I doubt you ever will. Well, I don't get that either. I'm going home.
What was that all about?
There is much he still needs to learn.
Miley.
What is it?
I knew Greggy's son could do it. I think I might be falling for you. Thanks for helping Jeffy.
Yo, Reggie, great job solving that case.
Well, I was busy drawing, so I really didn't catch all of it. Huh? Where did Kate and Justy run off to? Larice, you really weren't paying much attention at all, were you? Well, I hate to admit it, but Larry's doodles actually helped us out a few times. I should say something nice to him.
Don't glare at me like that. I'm sorry.
It was not my intent to glare at you.
That patented Edgeworth glare. You're just like your old man.
Is that so?
Well then, Uncle Ray is gonna go pay Mr. Master a visit. You guys want to tag along?
I'd be happy to accompany you.
Oh, me too. Oh, nice. We actually get to see this. This is great. So this Jeffrey Master, what's he like?
Oh, he's a really nice and gentle guy. He's still doing his best to make people happy. He actually cooks desserts for the inmates. Nowadays, all the prisoners and guards look forward to snack time at 3 o'clock.
Wow, that's nice. I want to eat his desserts too.
So the chocolate cake we saw in the prison the other day.
Oh yeah, the ones that Missile locked onto. Ah!
He was the one who made it.
Oh, Gummy, why are you here?
I heard everybody was coming to visit, so I escorted Mr. Master myself.
Hello, one and all. I am Jeffrey Master. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth at your service.
And I'm Mr. Edgeworth's assistant, Kay Faraday.
Oh, it is a pleasure to meet you all.
Mr. Master, Miles is your old defense attorney's son.
You mean Mr. Gregory's. Your father has done so much for me, and yet I betrayed his good faith when I made the false confession. I've heard the details from Mr. Shields.
Mr. Master, I came here today to tell you everything we've learned about 18 years ago.
18 years ago? Kate committed a crime for my sake. Why would she do such a thing?
Miss Hall has been trying to prove your innocence for the past 18 years. She was willing to do whatever it took to save you.
Kate, she shouldn't have gone through so much trouble for an old man who let her down. Mr. Master, I don't think you realize just how much Miss Hall cares for you. I have something here that clearly proves the two of you share an unbreakable bond.
An unbreakable bond?
Proof of the bond between Jeffrey Master and Catherine Hall. This should give Mr. Master some peace of mind. Huh? Oh. Yeah, Miss Hall made chocolates. Yeah, that wasn't her role in a slice of cake or piece of cake, the show, right? I think she was just there for the dancing and singing, but yeah, I think she took up confection making.
Take that!
These chocolates. Did Kate make them? She did.
They're really sweet and tasty.
She's been making these chocolates for the past 18 years, so that she could give them to you whenever you returned. Kate. I'm sure they are very, very sweet. Didn't his hypogeusia get treated in prison? Yes, they truly are. Unfortunately, I cannot give them to you now, but
I can hand them over later in secret, pal.
It is against the rules, but right now I don't have the authority to stop him.
Oh, thank you very much.
Say, you remind me of an old friend. Do you know of a Detective Bad?
Of course I do. Detective Bad is my #1 role model, pal.
How uncanny. Talk about fate.
Mr. Master, it's looking like we'll be able to get you out soon. I can only apologize that it took 18 years to do so.
Raymond, I'm the one who should be apologizing. No, that's not it. What I really should be saying is... thank you.
Mr. Master.
Now it's my turn to wait for Kate. I'll make her favorite sweets every day until she returns. Please look after her, Raymond.
You got it.
The IS-7 incident. The case I inherited from my father. After 18 long years, it's finally coming to a close. Bravo.
Miles, thanks for today. I am so sorry for leaving that final decision to you.
No, I made that decision of my own free will. Huh? What are you talking about?
To arrest Gustavia, we had no choice but to use Mr. Master's false charge. To use Mr. Master's false charge, which I was originally supposed to protect him from. The attorney inside of me simply could not do it.
So that's how it was.
But after this, Uncle Ray is going to try to clear away that false charge as well.
Yes, I understand. What? But if they find out about the false charge, they won't be able to arrest Mr. Gustavia, right?
That's true. It sure is a contradiction in the law. The way the law is right now, it isn't always completely right.
A contradiction in the law?
Well, who knows what'll happen. The law evolves and grows, just like all of us do. Just like Uncle Ray and Miles have grown up, you know?
People and the law both grow.
Miles, to fight crime as a prosecutor, or to save people as a defense attorney, I want you to think carefully about how you want to live your life from now on.
I will.
Well, if you ask Uncle Ray, you'll always be welcome down at the office. Alrighty then, looks like it's time for Uncle Ray to get going. Next time I see ya, I'll be sure to thank you again. Really though, thanks for today.
Mr. Shields seemed to be in a bit of a hurry. Indeed. I should be the one thanking him. I was able to face my father's last case because of him. When I was young, I wanted to become a great defense attorney like my father. However, under Prosecutor von Karma, I learned the ways of a prosecutor. Thanks to a certain friend, I was able to discover my own path in life. However, right now there are forces trying to take me off the prosecutor's path. He said it! He said the title! Maybe now is the perfect time to think about how I should live my life. Yo. Edgeworth Law Offices.
Gregory, I'm sorry that it took so long. It may have taken 18 years.
Oh my god, is that Gregory's hat and coat in the back?
But finally, we've proven Mr. Master's innocence. Miles, your son, helped me with that. The way he fought for the truth. He was just like you, Gregory. I'm still not the kind of attorney you were, but I will forever carry on the convictions I inherited from you. And if I can,
I knew it!
together with him,
So I called it. I knew exactly what they were doing. I knew it. I called it. You can go back. I knew it. They would have both photos side by side at the very end of this case, and I knew it. Wait, the path I choose is... Wait, what was the first thing? I didn't even look. I didn't... Oh... Next up is the Forgotten Turnabout. The Forgotten Turnabout. Oh, that could be anything, dude. That could be anything. Alright, so between the Ace Attorney 4, Apollo Justice, and this game here, you have both Phoenix Wright and Miles Edgeworth independently, for different reasons, coming to question the very nature of the justice system, of the law. And what's more, you have Miles himself maybe becoming the defense attorney. Maybe. Oh my god. Like, it's really steering that way. I love it. But my point is, boy, for Ace Attorney 5 and onwards, starting with the 3DS games, my god, I'm expecting big changes. Big changes. This is getting intense. Like, is it gonna be like a soft reboot? Is like the court system gonna change? Is like gonna shake things up in a huge way? Like, oh, Capcom, the Ace Attorney team at Capcom, they are cooking something here. Oh, I'm excited. Oh boy. Anyway. Yeah, this case, immensely satisfying. Incredible. This is a strong-ass case. Ace Attorney is at its best, really, when it ties to the past so well and you're solving old mysteries that were buried. Like, I know it's kind of a trend for them to invent brand new backstories for every character in every game. Like, let's be real. As good as the whole Dahlia Hawthorne situation was in Ace Attorney 3, that did come out of nowhere, you know? An old flame of phoenixes, it came out of nowhere. And then Apollo Justice, yeah, it was all about Apollo's own backstory and his family. And then, Investigations, you had the whole thing with Kay Faraday and the Yatagarasu and all that. Then here, it's the spotlight on Miles himself and Gregory and... God, so in the future, for the next case, the fourth one, and I guess the fifth as well, it's looking like there will be a fifth, I'm wondering what's exactly going to happen, because as good as this case here was, and it was really good, it was kind of a B-plot. Like, the initial story here is the nefarious people trying to take down Zhen Fa. Someone tried to assassinate the president of a foreign country. That's huge. And clearly there's some big shadowy thing going on in the background. Shilon Lane made an appearance in the flesh. His bloodhound's nose is tracking down something. I feel like we might be getting back to that plot in the next case, but I guess only time will tell. Anyway, this video's gone on quite long enough. I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been the fabulous Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. Till then, actually, I do want to say one more thing. I'm hoping that just like Tyrell Bad, that Raymond Shields will return in future games. That character is so good. I love him. I love his ideals and his steadfastness and his politeness. He's a great character, and I like him, and I want him to be in future games. I want to see him interacting with Phoenix and Apollo. That'd be nice, but maybe unlikely, I don't know. Yeah, until then, please take care.